So for this assignment, you got to be using that right-hand rule. That right-hand rule, using your right hand. So if you got to hold up your hands, the one that makes the L, that's the left. The one that makes not an L, that's your right. And so we're going to use this right-hand rule in order to get to the force acting on these charge carriers. So if I have my right hand, thumb shows that positive flow charge, fingers show that direction of magnetic field, and the palm, well, the palm, that shows the direction of this force. So the force, that's the direction that Iron Man will shoot. That's why I call that Iron Man rule. So Iron Man, he shoots out his hand like that. If I was holding it like this, he'd be shooting right at you. Pew, pew. And so that's what we're going to be looking at here. So if I take a look at this number 1, there's no way that I could get my thumb to line up with this magnetic field. So if I get my magnetic field going to the right, I can't get my thumb to go backwards. So with this negative charge going to the left, it's like a positive charge. A negative charge going to the right, it's like a positive charge going to the left. But there's no way I can get my hand to go this way. So there's no force. There's no force on a charge moving with the field or moving against this field. But then when we look to this number 2, I got my thumb going straight up because that's a positive flow charge. Positive charge going up, magnetic field going to the right. So I get my fingers lined up to the right. So I get my palm going into the page. So that's why I got this force going into the page here. Same thing for this number 3. My fingers going up, showing that magnetic field going up. My thumb goes to the right. Positive charge moving to the right. So the force is coming out the page. My palm is coming out the page. Iron Man would shoot out the page. Pew, pew. So that's why I got the force here as this dot. Now when we switch it over to this negative charge, now that's where we got to say, well, the velocity is going into the paper for a negative charge. Velocity going into the page, so my thumb's going into the page. But a negative charge going into the page is just like a positive charge coming out. So now I got my thumb coming out the page because that's the direction of this charge. And I line up this magnetic field going to the left, then I get the force going down and 2. Then with this number 5, positive charge going to the right, magnetic field coming out the page, force going down. Magnetic field going into the page, positive charge going up into the right. Iron Man would shoot going that way. So that's why we got the force going like that. So I wanted you to be able to see what I got here, and I'm just going to kind of flip through this. That way you can sort of see. We worked on this together on the Zoom, so like it's not cheating or anything. Because on this one here, I wanted you to trace out the path. So I wanted you to trace out the path that's going on here. If you put in this positive charge into this field, what's going to happen? Well, I already know positive charge is going to be moving, and it's going to feel a force this way. So when it's going this way, it's not going to stay on this straight dotted line. It's going to be pushed up. So there's going to be this pushing up because there's that force. And so when that happens, then there's going to be a different path it's going to take. And it's actually going to go into a circular motion. And so the speed of that is going to be constant because it's going to be under uniform circular motion. There's no opposing force to its motion. So that's what I wanted us to be saying down here, then leading us to this over here. And I wanted you to see then, well, if we know that the force for this one is deflecting it down, and we have a negative charge going to the right, it's just like a positive going to the left. Well, with a positive charge going to the left, and I know that this is deflecting down, then I can say that my magnetic field's going into the page. I do the same thing here. Now with this electron coming out the page, I can get this magnetic field going down. And this is where I tried to show the path that these charges would make, a positive charge and a negative charge. They're going to go in opposite directions. So this positive charge would feel force going to the left initially, and this negative charge is going to feel force going to the right initially. This is just me saying that they're the same mass. That's all. And then getting to the last page, we have a battery with a positive charge, negative charge. Then this current I is going up and around this way. So then at point 1, this segment 1, and the segment 3, that's going with the field or against the field. If it's going with it or against it, there's no force. So that's why there's none and none. But at this segment 2 and segment 4, I got my fingers lining up to the right. That's the magnetic field. So I got my fingers going to the right. My thumb is going to be going straight up because that's the current. Positive charge is going up. So that's why I got this force going into the page. And then number 4, we got the current going down, so I got to change my thumb keeping my fingers going to the right. So now my thumb's going down, and that's why I got the force here coming out the page, because this is where Iron Man would shoot. It would shoot up and out the page. And then, if there's a force going down here and a force going up here, it's asking, is this going to rotate? And if there's a force going down and there's a force going up, then there is going to be this going on. So, just you got to tell me why you think there's going to be that. And just say something about forces. That's where I want you getting at. So, thank you. If you got questions, don't hesitate to ask me. Email more, and hopefully this helps.